everybody. Welcome to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. My name is Samantha Genzer, and I'm going to be your guys' show host for you guys today. We have a very exciting episode for you guys. We're going to be covering the alternates in the gymnastics team for the Olympics and how they did at the trials, NWSL updates regarding the Kansas City Current, North Carolina Courage, and Utah Royals, full track and field roster for Team USA, Stanford pitcher NiJaree Canady, and the transfer portal. And make sure you guys stay till the end of the show to hear about some MMA updates. Before we begin, I wanted to ask you guys to like and subscribe to the show and to become a part of our show to tip and donate using the link gsmcpodcast.net. Also, we do get a lot of questions that come in from viewers during the show, so to ensure that your questions and comments get read on the air, I ask that you use the link gsmcpodcast.net. Sorry it was taking so long to load right there. We're having, I guess, some technical difficulties. I don't know. Anyway, so this puts your questions at the top of the list so that I see them, and of course, it really helps the show. Again, the link is gsmcpodcast.net. Now, let's get started. I hope you guys enjoy today's content. Okay, so we're starting today's show by talking about the Gymnastics Olympic Trials. Yesterday, we recapped how the top 5 gymnasts did, and those are the gymnasts that made the Olympic team. Those gymnasts are Simone Biles, Sunisa Lee, Jordan Childs, Jade Carey, and Hez Rivera. Today we're going to talk about the 2 named traveling alternates and the 2 named non-traveling alternates and how they did, and then I will answer the question, who would Shilese Jones, Skye Blakely, and Kayla DiCello replace in the team lineup? That's a question with a lot of answers. So just to recap a bit, 3 people who were strong contenders for the team, including as alternates, experienced injuries, and they had to drop out of the competition. Those people were Kayla DiCello, Shilese Jones, and Skye Blakely. In another video, I am planning on talking more about, we're actually covering that today, so never mind, forget about that. But if you want me to cover more about their injuries and such, then feel free to leave a comment and I can make another segment and video talking about that. But I'm really hoping that they get better soon and they have a smooth recovery process. It is really unfortunate that they worked so hard and they had to undergo an injury that ruined their chances of making the team, something they have been working for their entire careers. So before we start talking about the alternates, I wanted to answer just one quick question really quickly, because there's been a lot of things in the media about this. And I am going to address one comment I'm getting here is to talk about the NFL. I wish I could, but unfortunately, never mind. Okay, so moving on, back to gymnastics. Okay, so a lot of the questions that's been circling in the media, because I don't know why. Well, I do know why, but a lot of people are asking, why did USA Gymnastics choose Hez Rivera? Rivera is only 16 years old and in her first year of senior level gymnastics. She competed alongside Biles and other Paris-bound athletes for less than a year, but that's literally all she needed to secure her spot in the 2024 games. Well, and plus the hard training and all the technical skills and everything she has. Don't get me wrong. But the selection committee chose the top 5 all-around finishers at trials for the Olympic team, the same technique they used for the 2020 games. But to some, it seems strange the selection committee went with someone who was 16 years old rather than someone who has the experience and level of difficulty like Robertson and Wong. But here are the other reasons why she was chosen, and I personally think she is a good person to have on the team, and it makes sense to me, and it was well deserved. Besides her podium finish, Rivera fits the bill perfectly. Team USA needed another strong contender on beam, which is one of the events Rivera really excels at. She tied with Joscelyn Roberson for the highest 2-day score on the event. Additionally, Rivera added the most depth on bars, finishing behind Lee, Childs, and Biles. Her assets flowed in the team's need perfectly, making her selection the most reasonable option. Also, given recent injuries, the selection committee went for a gymnast who could act as a built-in alternate in some way should an emergency affect any of the other 4 Riveras there to fill in on any event and put up a decent score. Her consistency at trials, wow, can't speak. Her consistency at the trials really proved that position. So in elite gymnastics, peaking at the right time is the utmost importance. Rivera did just that. In her first senior competition at the Winter Cup, she claimed the all-around bronze as well as gold on beam and bronze on floor. In the national championships in early June, Rivera finished 6th in the all-around, 5th on bars, and 4th on beam. While it didn't warrant a medal, it was a massive sign of what was to come in the next few weeks. At 16, Rivera is by far the youngest female gymnast headed to Paris. But if a breakout star is what Team USA needs to win the gold, then a breakout star is what they get. So now let's talk about Joscelyn Roberson, who finished in 6th with an all-around score of 110.975. She's an incoming freshman at the University of Arkansas, and going to the Olympics is one way to make your name known at your new school. Robertson finished 4th on vault and beam. Wait, did I say vault and beam? No, she finished 4th on vault and floor. I don't even know what I just said, but she finished 4th on vault and floor, and then she tied for 2nd on beam. No, she didn't. 3rd, I believe it is. Oh my gosh, wait. Now I don't have that in my notes, and I sincerely apologize, but she did very good on beam. Okay, so prior to the Olympic trials, Robertson had never scored 55 plus points in an all-around competition, but earning mark of 55.475 after Friday's preliminary competition. The career high held for only 48 hours as she bested herself with a 55.5 in Sunday's final. Her beam score was a 13.925 on day 1 and a 14.05 on day 2. She was really happy with how she did on the beam. One of the things that sets her apart is she's very, very consistent. On the vault, she brought a lot of power, finishing with a score of 14.325 on the first day and 14.5 on the second day. Her uneven bars was her weaker event, but her level of difficulty helped her a lot, securing a 13.3 on day 1 and 13.025 on day 2. Lastly, her floor exercise got a 13.925 on day 1 and day 2. In 7th place was Leanne Wong, who is the other traveling alternate, and she received an all-around score of 110.425. She was a member of the gold medal winning teams at the 2022 World Championships and 2023 World Championships, and she was an alternate for the 2020 Olympic team. Wong opened the meet debuting her Chang vault, earning this evening's 3rd highest vault mark at 14.45. She had a clean uneven bars performance and a small bobble on an otherwise solid balance being routine. Her uneven bars got a score of 13.15 and her beam got a score of 13.224. Her floor exercise score was dinged by a step out of balance on her opening tumbling pass, but otherwise it was executed perfectly. She got a score of 13.925, and then on the second day, she improved on her day 1 scores for vault, balance beam, and floor exercise with an uneven bars mark just 0.025 away from day 1's mark. She opened the evening with a clean uneven bars routine. In performance, Wong made her biggest score improvements on balance beam and floor exercise. She kept deductions to a minimum on beam and had no out of balance to ding on today's floor score. Her beam got a score of 13.65 and her floor got a score of 13.625. Wong closed her competition, landing her Chang vault to earn the evening's 3rd highest vault mark at 14.5 on the second day. So following the meet, Wong said, quote, "Day 1 wasn't super strong, but I came into day 2 wanting to leave it all out there, and that's what I did today. I'm super proud of my new vault. I never would have imagined myself competing at the Olympic trials, so I'm super grateful for that," unquote. So now let's talk about the 2 non-traveling alternates. Tiana Sumanasekera finished in 8th, and she's also only 16 years old. She got an all-around score of 109.55. She's a beast on the beam, and she absolutely slayed in that event. I absolutely loved her floor routine as well. The routine itself is beautiful, and she also executes the dancing choreo. What was I even trying to say? She executes the dancing choreo and leaps flawlessly with her long legs and perfectly pointed toes. Sumanasekera actually beat Simone Biles in the beam, getting a score of 13.95, so literally 0.05 above Biles. She finished 2nd overall on the beam and 6th on floor. Her floor exercise got a score of 13.875 on the first day and 13.725 on the second day. Her vault got a score of 14.15 on the first day and a 14.35 on the second day. Her uneven bars was, her weaker event, so as she sort of had her feet and legs come apart slightly on some parts, which caused a bit of deductions. She also did not match the level of difficulty as some of the other competitors that placed higher. Her uneven bar score was a 12.725 on the first day and 12.825 on the second day. Kaliya Lincoln finished in 9th, which got her that position as the second non-traveling alternate. Coming in the trial, she was not getting much attention, and she was sort of the underdog. She was not predicted to be an alternate or on the team at all, but she was considered a fierce competitor. I'm really happy that the opportunity opened up for her, though. Don't get me wrong. Her vault and floor were really strong both days. She got a 14.225 on the first day and a 14.25 on the second day of the vault. And for the floor, she got a 14.15 on the first day and 13.65 on the second. She went out of bounds a couple of times, which caused her deductions, but honestly, that typically happens because the gymnasts are using so much power that causes them to go out of bounds. It's something she needs to watch out for, and everyone needs to watch out for, really. Simone Biles has struggles with it too, but that's because she uses so much dang power to get those high, insane, crazy flips that she does. So yeah, that's something everybody can look out for. But the uneven bars and balance beam were her weaker events. On the bars, she got a score of 13.45 on both days. And on the first day, she got a 13.05 on the balance beam. And on the second day, she got a 13.175. To end this segment, I want to answer the question, who would Shilese Jones, Kayla DiCello, and Skye Blakely have replaced? And that's a hard question to answer. Before I answer the question, I want to say that I'm really, really, really happy with how the 9 people placed and how the team looks, including the 4 alternates. I would not change a thing because this team is extremely strong. But to answer this question, I think Shilese Jones or Skye Blakely would have gotten that 5th place spot, which would have made Hez Rivera possibly an alternate, since the selection committee probably would have wanted that 5th place spot still to be the 5th person on the team, if that makes sense, and then alternates following along, like 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, like all that, like how they have now. I think Kayla DiCello would have ended up as an alternate again, but definitely as a traveling alternate. My best bet is that she would have taken Joscelyn Robertson as a traveling alternate, and that would mean that either Robertson would still be an alternate or a non-traveling alternate. I think if DiCello took her spot as a traveling alternate, Robertson would become a non-traveling alternate, and then Kaliya Lincoln might not have been listed as an alternate, and then Leanne Wong would have came in still and been an alternate. Does that make sense? I really hope that makes sense, because I'm like, it makes sense in my brain. But that is just my guess as to what would have happened. I do think that these 3 gymnasts would have placed in the top 10. I really hope the best for these 3 gymnasts, and I hope they still continue to train, as they have worked very, very hard, and I think they have a strong chance in the 2028 Olympics. I hope for the smoothest and quickest recovery possible for all of them, and it's really upsetting, their injuries, but still we have to recognize how hard they worked and everything. So we're now going to switch to our next segment where we're going to talk about some NWSL updates. Before we get into that, we are going to be taking a very short break, so I will see you guys very soon.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Welcome back, everybody, to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. My name is Samantha Genzer, and I am your guys' show host. We just got done talking about the Gymnastics Olympic Trials, specifically the alternates, and now we're going to talk about soccer. So there's a lot going on with the NWSL, and we're going to cover a couple of things. One, Kansas City Current sets NWSL record with 17-game unbeaten streak. 2, the Utah Royal fires coach Amy Rodriguez as part of organizational shakeup, and 3, the North Carolina Courage struggles and has success with its growth. So starting with the good news here, the Kansas City Currents set a new NWSL record, geez, I cannot speak, Friday with a 2-0 victory over the Houston Dash at the CPKC Stadium, marking the Currents' 17th consecutive game without a loss. This is the longest unbeaten streak in the league's 11-year history. Kansas City entered the match tied for the record with the 2014 Seattle Reign FC, who went the first 16 games of that season unbeaten. Kansas City's current streak dates to 2023. The Current are unbeaten through 15 games this season and sit atop the NWSL table. On Friday, Current forward Temwa Chawinga scored twice late, giving her an NWSL leading 11 goals this season. Houston, which was without head coach Fran Alonso on the sideline for what the team described as an illness, spent most of the match defending. Kansas City dictated the flow of the match from the outset, outshooting Houston 17-2 in the first half, but the Current frequently squandered their opportunities in front of the net. Chawinga broke the deadlock in the 77th minute, pouncing on a scuff back pass from Houston defender Tarciane. 2 minutes later, Tarciane's errant back pass in Kansas City's half of the field put Chawinga in alone on goal, and Chawinga calmly dribbled around Dash goalkeeper Jane Campbell to tap the ball into the net. The goal was Chawinga's 11th of the season, putting her in the lead for the NWSL Golden Boot. Under former United States women's national team head coach Vlatko Andonovski, Kansas City has now scored 39 goals this season, 10 more than the next highest scoring team. 17 different players have scored for the Current this season, an NWSL record. Oh my goodness, this last name is very hard for me to pronounce, and I'm so sorry if I'm butchering this last name. Andonovski said about after the game, quote, very happy. You can't be successful if you think that you're going to score 5 goals every game. You can't be successful if you don't win 1-0, if you don't score in the 90th minute, if you don't score in the first couple minutes. All these little things are part of the process of building a successful team. Sometimes you even have to be the worst team on the field or not the better team and win games. That's also part of being a successful team. Sometimes you got to get lucky and win games, unquote. Orlando is also unbeaten this season through 14 games. The Orlando Pride travels to Los Angeles to face Angel City on Sunday, and they could have pulled level on points with Kansas City again with a victory. The July 6th match in Kansas City would be the first NWSL game to feature a clash of 2 unbeaten teams this late in the season. If Orlando wins on Sunday to keep a streak alive, and they did, a subsequent victory in Kansas City on July 6th would end the Current's unbeaten run at 17 games and give Orlando a share of that record, which has not changed hands in a decade. The 2014 Reign side won the NWSL Shield, but lost in the NWSL Championship to an FC Kansas City team coached by Andonovski. Next, let's talk about the Utah Royals. As you guys know, they are last in the league. They have been doing some rearrangements and have had some club issues, like just with the whole club in general. The club just recently fired first-year coach Amy Rodriguez. The move on Sunday was part of an organizational shakeup for the struggling team. Rodriguez, a former U.S. national team member, is the Royals' all-time career goal scorer with 16 when she played there from 2018 to 2020. Along with Rodriguez, the Royals released goalkeeper coach Maurice Bard-Martel and said the team president Michelle Heinsick is moving into the new legal role with the Blitzer family office. Jimmy Coenwright was appointed Utah's interim head coach. Real Salt Lake president John Kimball will oversee the business operations for the Royals during the search for a new club president. He thanked Rodriguez, Bard-Martel, and Heinsick for their efforts, and he said in a statement, quote, "While we have faced adversity this season, we are focused on building a team off and on the field that can compete at the highest level for years to come. This expansion season has been full of lessons and learnings, and we are now focused on reorganizing leadership efforts on and off the pitch. We are grateful and appreciative of Amy, Michelle, and Maurice and their efforts in helping reintroduce the Royals to Utah's incredible fans and the international soccer community. We believe women's sports are a vital part of Utah's culture. Our club and ownership group are committed to delivering a product of fans will be proud of. While we have faced adversity this season, we are focused on building a team on and on the field that can compete at the highest level for years to come," unquote. So this organizational reshuffle could lead to several positive changes for the Utah Royals. Firstly, it presents an opportunity to bring in new coaching staff with fresh ideas and approaches that could better harness the potential of the current roster. The focus on reorganizing leadership efforts is likely to instill a renewed sense of purpose and cohesion within the team, fostering an environment where players can thrive and perform at their best. Secondly, the shape-up might revitalize the club's relationship with its fan base. By demonstrating a proactive stance and addressing the team's challenges, the Royals can rebuild trust and excitement among supporters. The commitment to delivering a product that fans will be proud of is crucial, maintaining and growing a loyal fan base, which is essential for the club's long-term success. Lastly, this period of change offers a chance for the Royals to reinforce their position within the broader international soccer community. By focusing on building a team that competes at the highest levels, the club can attract top talent and establish itself as a formidable force in women's soccer. In conclusion, while the dismissal of Abby Rodriguez and the subsequent organizational changes may seem daunting, they represent a necessary step towards revitalizing the Utah Royals, the club in general. This strategic reorganization aims to create a competitive, resilient team that embodies the spirit of Utah's sporting culture, ensuring that the Royals can achieve sustained success in the seasons to come. The last thing I wanted to talk about regarding the NWSL is the North Carolina Courage struggles and successes and its growth. Since their entrance in the league, the North Carolina Courage have held a winning reputation as back-to-back champions in the NWSL in 2018 and in 2019. However, with success at the highest level, the club also faced challenges in their culture. Now in their 8th season, the club has put in the work to rebuild their culture and approach, which has led to new milestones in club history. As a longtime sports marketing and business executive for the NBA and MLS, Courage president Francie Gottsgen took a leadership role with the club during a critical time following the coaching scandal of abusive behavior from their former coach and the repercussions of signing a player who refused to wear a pride jersey. However, under Gottsgen's leadership, the club is in a new direction of growth, with one notable benchmark in the increase of attendance. Last season, they averaged 5,384 fans, and in October 2023, the club closed out the regular season with their largest attendance record as they hosted a sold-out crowd of 10,435 fans against San Diego Wave FC, and that is like a huge difference from 5,000 to 10,000. Gottsgen said, quote, "It's night and day to think about when I first started this job in January 2022 to where things are today as a league and a club. From 2022 to 2023, we spent a lot of time thinking about what's the right structure for the organization. We wanted to make sure that we would build this in such a way that we were going to set ourselves up for success. We feel like we're building something really special. We want to make sure people are aligned with the vision for the club," unquote. Along with a 20% increase in ticket sales, the club has also amped up their game day activities to provide fans with a more in-depth game day experience. From hosting their first fan festival last season and partnering with the local sports bar called Sports and Social, the Courage have created their own type of game day atmosphere. On game days, fans can gather at Fenton on the south side of the stadium, where the club provides a shuttle service from the sports bar for fans to gather. Fans rally together with their version of a march known as Walk Through the Woods, as it's about a 10-minute walk from the sports bar to the stadium. One of the unique aspects about their game day experiences with fans is that the stadium capacity of Wake Mid Soccer Park allows fans to connect with players in a personal way following the game. Defender Kaylee Kurtz said, quote, "Because I've been here for so long, the fans that have been here are so incredibly loyal and amazing. I know a lot of them by name and some of them give me eggs or honey, so I built my own kind of relationship with them in such a cool way. And I think part of it is because of our stadium. They treat us so special even when it's blazing hot in Raleigh, North Carolina," unquote. For Kurtz, the defender signed with the Courage ahead of the 2018 season and has been with the club for the entirety of her NWSL career. As a veteran player, the defender has seen the club go through a variety of growth stages. She added, quote, I think a lot of people think of us as the 2018-2019 greatest team where we only lost one game the entire year 2018, but the league as a whole has become way more competitive. For the Courage specifically, it's building back into that legacy. We won the Challenge Cup the past 2 years, but we're in this to win, and we want to win the big trophies like the NWSL Shield or the championship. In general, as players of the Courage, that's what we're setting out to do, unquote. And then the iconic goalkeeper, Casey Murphy, who will also be on the Olympic team, has played every minute of the 2024 regular season with 41 saves and 56 shots on goal. She said, quote, I'm really excited about the future of the club, especially this season. We've had a lot of great performances and a little bit of a lull, but I feel like it's in those times where we're able to find out who we really are and what we're really capable of. I really believe that it's going to be a great season and that we're going to end it really strong, and that momentum is going to take us into next season and to keep fighting for a Shield and championship. championships, unquote. So that concludes our segment on some NWSL updates. Now we're going to move into our next segment where we talk about the full track and field roster for Team USA. Before we race into that, no pun intended, we're going to be taking a very short break, so I will see you guys very soon.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube absolutely free. Search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube right now.
Welcome back, everybody, to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. My name is Samantha Genzer. I'm your guys' show host for you guys. We just got done talking about some NWSL updates, and now we're going to talk about the full track and field roster for Team USA in the Olympics. Yesterday, I recapped the U.S. Track and Field Olympic Trials, and last week I did the same thing with the first 4 days. There are a bunch of people competing on the track and field team, and it sometimes gets confusing when you're just looking at each event and all of that. So I decided to talk about the full roster, highlight each person, and talk about the events they are competing in and some predictions if possible. So we have a lot of people to talk about, so let's just get started. Starting with the 100-meter dash, Sha'Carri Richardson, Melissa Jefferson, and Twanisha Terry will be competing on the Olympic team for this event. I talk about Richardson a lot because she's an icon and I admire her so much, but who exactly is she, you might be wondering. So Richardson gained prominence in 2019 as a freshman at Louisiana State University by breaking the 100-meter collegiate record with a time of 10.75 seconds at the NCAA D1 Championships. In April 2021, Richardson achieved a personal best of 10.72 seconds, making her the 6th fastest woman ever at the time. She qualified for the 2020 Summer Olympics by winning the women's 100-meter dash at the trials with a time of 10.86 seconds. However, her victory was invalidated due to a positive test for cannabis, leading to a 1-month suspension. In July 2023, Richardson became the U.S. national champion in the 100 meters with a time of 10.82 seconds. She won gold in the 100 meters at the 2023 World Championships in Budapest with a championship record time of 10.65 seconds, defeating Shericka Jackson and Shelly Ann Fraser-Price. She also won gold as part of Team USA in the women's 4x100 meter relay, setting another championship record of 41.03 seconds. On June 22, 2024, Richardson defended her U.S. national title in the 100 meters with a rolling time of 10.71 seconds, qualifying for the Paris 2024 Summer Olympics. And then Melissa Jefferson won the NCAA Indoor 60-meter championship in 2022. And in the 100 meters at the 2022 USA Outdoor Track and Field Championships, qualifying for the World Athletic Championships in Eugene, Oregon, where she finished 8th in the 100 meter final. She was part of the gold medal winning U.S. 4x100 meter relay team at the 2022 World Championships and the 2023 World Athletics Championships in Budapest. In April 2024, Jefferson was a member of the USA team that won the 4x100 meter relay at the World Athletics Relays in the Bahamas. She won the 100 meters at the World Athletics Continental Tour Gold LA Grand Prix in May 2024 and finished second in the 100 meters at the 2024 United States Olympic Trials with a time of 10.80 seconds. Twanisha Terry has earned 2 gold medals in the U.S. Women's 4x100 meter relays at the 2022 and 2023 World Athletics Championships. At 19 years old, Terry ran the 100 meter in 10.99 seconds at the Mount Sac Relays in April 2018, making her the joint 4th fastest under 20 woman in history. That year, she won gold in the 100 meters at the USATF U20 Championships and silver at the World U20 Championships. She also holds one individual NCAA Division I title. All 3 of these athletes will need to watch their competition with Shericka Jackson, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, and Elaine Thompson-Herah from Jamaica. Jackson is a formidable sprinter with consistent performances in major championships. She has a strong start and impressive acceleration, making her a significant threat. Fraser-Pryce, multiple-time Olympic gold medalist, is known for her explosive starts and consistencies in high-stakes races. And then Thompson-Herah, the reigning Olympic champion from the 2016 and 2020 games, has a remarkable track record and the ability to deliver under pressure. I definitely think that Richardson could win the gold or silver medal, and Terry and Jefferson have a chance of winning the bronze medal, but more so the top 10. So for the 100-meter hurdles, we have Mazai Russell, Alicia Johnson, and Grace Stark. Russell holds the U.S. NCAA record in the 100-meter hurdles with a personal best at 12.25 seconds, tying her for the 4th fastest time ever. She also has personal best at 7.75 seconds in the 60-meter hurdles, which is 13th all-time, and 54.66 seconds in the 400-meter hurdles. Russell finished 3rd at the 2023 USA Outdoor Track and Field Championships. Alicia Johnson is a University of Oregon student pursuing a master's degree in sociology. She finished as the runner-up in the 60-meter hurdles at the 2022 USA Indoor Track and Field Championships, and also in the 100-meter hurdles at the 2022 USA Outdoor Track and Field Championships, where she clocked a personal best of 12.35 seconds, placing her 12th on the all-time 100-meter hurdles list globally. In 2024, Johnson continued her strong performances, finishing as runner-up in the 100-meter hurdles at the LA Grand Prix. Then we have Grace Stark, who attended the University of Florida, where she won the NCAA Indoor 60-meter hurdles title in 2022 with a personal best time of 7.78 seconds in the final. In 2024, Stark went undefeated in outdoor college competitions, culminating in winning the NCAA Division I Outdoor 100-meter hurdles title in June. So this group of three's biggest competition will most likely be Jasmine Camacho Quinn from Puerto Rico, who won the gold medal in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, Toby Amusan from Nigeria, who is the current record holder in the 100-meter hurdles, Nadine Visser from the Netherlands, and Danielle Williams from Jamaica. Given how Russell has been performing lately, I think she has a really solid chance of medaling, specifically her. For the women's 200-meter dash, we will see Gabby Thomas, Brittany Brown, and Mackenzie Long. All three of these sprinters are phenomenal, and I have high hopes that they could all place in the top 5, though that might be very unlikely to have all three as U.S. Competitors in the top 5, but that would be insane. I definitely think Thomas could finish in 1st or 2nd, and Brittany Brown and Mackenzie Long might surprise us with a 2nd or 3rd place finish. There's just a lot of competition in this event. The top competitors will be Shericka Jackson from Jamaica, Elaine Thompson-Herah from Jamaica also, Marie Jose Ta'alu from the Ivory Coast, Dinah Asher-Smith from Great Britain, and Shanae Miller-Ubo from the Bahamas. So before moving into the next event, let me just spotlight the 3 U.S. competitors. I've talked about Gabby Thomas a lot of times on this channel because I'm a huge fan of her and she never fails to impress me. So here are some of her career highlights. At the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, she won a bronze medal in the 200 meters and a silver medal as part of the women's 4x100 meter relay teams. On August 25, 2023, Thomas secured the silver medal in the 200 meters at the 2023 World Athletics Championships in Budapest with a time of 21.81 seconds. Also, she won gold with Team USA in the women's 4x100 meter relay, setting a championship record in 41.03 seconds. Brittany Brown won a silver medal in the 200 meters at the 2019 World Championships. In 2022, she secured the 200 meters title at the NCAC Championships in the Bahamas with a time of 22.35 seconds. At the 2023 Tokyo USATF Outdoor Championship, she placed 2nd in the 100 meters with a personal best of 10.90 seconds, qualifying for the 2023 World Athletics Championships where she finished 7th. Mackenzie Long attended North Carolina State University, and in 2023 she transferred to the University of Mississippi. Mississippi, my bad. She won the SEC Championship 200 meters in 2023 with a time of 22.39 seconds and retained her title in 2024 with the world leading and SEC meet record time of 22.03 seconds. At the 2024 NCAA Division I Outdoor Track and Field Championship, she won the 100-meter title with a win-assisted time of 10.82 seconds and the 200-meter title with a time of 21.83 seconds. Long also helped Ole Miss win the 4x100 relay, contributing to the team's historic sweep of these events. Okay, lastly, in the women's 400-meter dash, Kendall Ellis, Aliyah Butler, and Alexis Holmes are on the team. Kendall Ellis won gold in the 4x400 meter relays and bronze in the mixed 4x400 meters at the Tokyo Olympics. Ellis also competed in the 400 meters at the 2017 and 2019 World Championships, securing gold medals as part of the preliminary 4x400 meter relays. She's also a 3-time NCAA champion, 14-time NCAA Division I All-American, 7-time Pac-12 Conference champion, and 5-time Mountain Pacific Sports Federation champion. Aliyah Butler is a standout track and field athlete at the University of Georgia, specializing in the 300-meter dash, 400 meters, and 4x400 meter relay. She earned first-team All-America honors in the 400 meters, placing 4th in the NCAA championships with a time of 51.64 seconds, and posted the number 4 time in school history in the 200 meters at the Tiger Paw Invite, finishing second with 22.80 seconds. Additionally, she was part of the school record-breaking 4x400 meter relay team that clocked 3 minutes 28.01 seconds at the Razorbacks Invitational. Lastly, Alexis Holmes ran for the University of Kentucky, where she was part of the women's 4x400 meter relay team that set a new college record time. They also won the NCAA Division I title in 2024. Holmes ran a personal best 400 meter time of 50.32 seconds in Memphis, Tennessee in August 2023. She was selected for the American team for the 2023 World Athletics Championship and competed in the mixed 4x400 meter relay. In February 2024, she won the U.S. National Indoor title over 400 meters with a championship record time of 50.34 seconds in New Mexico. She competed in the 400 meters at the 2024 World Athletics Championships and won the bronze medal in the final of the personal best time of 50.24 seconds. The top competitors in this event that these three will have to look out for are Marilia Paulino from the Dominican Republic, who is the current top-ranked athlete in this event, Natalia Kazmarek from Poland, who is ranked second, Laike Clavier from the Netherlands, Sada Williams from Barbados, and Candice McLeod from Jamaica. There's a lot of competition in this event, but I still think these 3 U.S. athletes could end up in the top 5, and Kendall Ellis may be able to medal. We clearly have a lot of other events to talk about, but that is all we have time for today, so stay tuned for tomorrow as we continue talking about everyone qualified for the track and field USA team. We're now going to switch into the next segment where we talk about NiJaree Canady and the transfer portal and the Oklahoma Sooners transition from the Big 12 to the SEC. Before we get into that, we're going to be taking a very short break, so I will see you guys very soon.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
Welcome back, everybody, to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. My name is Samantha Genzer. I'm your guys' show host for y'all. We just got done talking about the roster for Team USA track and field, and now we're going to go and talk about softball. Before we begin, I just wanted to remind you guys to like and follow the show and to become a part of our show to tip and donate using the link gsmcpodcast.net. This also puts your questions and comments at the top of the list so that they get read and answered on the air. You get that fun, interactive aspect of the GSMC Sports Network, so I recommend using that link. Also, I wanted to remind you guys to stay to the last segment of our show, which is the next segment where we talk about some MMA updates. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get started. I have 2 things to talk about in this segment regarding softball. We're going to talk about NiJaree Canady and the transfer portal and the Oklahoma Sooners transition from the Big 12 to the SEC. Okay, so let's start talking about NiJaree Canady. I've talked about her multiple times on her season when I went over all the World Series recap games and all of that. She always was in there somehow. So last season she played for Stanford University and she's their star pitcher. I've talked about her numerous times. She never fails to impress me and she really leads the league. Any school would be super lucky to have her join them. Canady was absolutely vital to Stanford's deep Women's College World Series run this season, throwing timely shutouts on several occasions. The team came up just short of a spot in the final series, and the hope was that Canady would lead them to the charge to get to a very end in 2025. Regardless of Stanford not making it to the finals, the team had a great season, especially Canady racking up 337 strikeouts over 230.2 innings, earning an ERA of .73 along the way. But Canady has decided to transfer, but the team she is transferring to is not yet official, and we're all waiting to see where she goes. Washington softball legend Danielle Lowry, a two-time USA Softball Player of the Year and two-time Olympian, discussed some potential transfer destinations for Canady. She brought up the obvious, the four-time defending champion Oklahoma Sooners, but mentioned that while Canady may have her own thought process, Lowry herself personally wouldn't want to go to a team losing 10 seniors and would be more interested in putting her stamp on a fresh contender. Similarly, Texas was part of the discussion. The issue, there was a well-established Longhorns pitching staff, a hassle Canady may not want to deal with. Lowry mentioned the merits of Florida State due to the pitching coaching mastery of Lana Alamende, who coached Lowry in the Olympics. There were a few more schools mentioned, but Lowry wrapped up stating a need to win, making Oklahoma a very likely landing place for Canady. Personally, I hope she joins UT Austin or the University of Florida. The University of Florida had several opportunities in this year's World Series, and I believe they had the potentials to secure a championship next season if they had Canady's help. As a huge Longhorn fan, I'd love to see Canady in Texas, although the presence of star pitcher Tegan Cavan would complicate things. While adding Canady to Oklahoma would undoubtedly strengthen their already impressive roster, I enjoy the thrill of competition and would prefer to see her elevate an underdog team. Bringing in a dominant player like her could significantly impact a struggling team, but wherever she goes, Canady's Stanford tenure will be remembered as one of the program's greatest. Even if she didn't quite get the Cardinal all the way to the top, it'll be tremendously challenging to replace her production, a high priority for the coaching staff this offseason. Also talking about Canady, she will be playing on the USA team starting July 4th at the Japan All-Star Series. She also was back in Oklahoma City this weekend as a member of the U.S. Women's Elite Team. The Americans played Great Britain in an exhibition game and won 11-1 in a 4-inning roll. Canady didn't pitch in the victory. Instead, former OU and Oklahoma State star Kelly Maxwell got the start and allowed just 2 hits in 3 innings, while former Oklahoma State and Alabama standout Lexi Kilfoyle tossed the final frame and allowed 1 hit and an unearned run. Okay, now let's talk about the second thing. The Oklahoma Sooners transition from the Big 12 to the SEC. The long-anticipated transition of the Oklahoma Sooners from the Big 12 to the SEC has finally arrived. Announced 3 years ago, the move, which includes Texas, places the Sooners in a conference known for its rigorous competition across all sports, particularly football. Amidst the excitement and discussions surrounding the football teams, the Sooners softball program received a special mention from SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey. During Monday's introduction of the Sooners to the SEC, Sankey, alongside OU President Joseph Haraz Jr. and OU Athletic Director Joe Castiglione, highlighted Oklahoma's distinguished program. Oklahoma's softball team has left an indelible mark on the Big 12, winning all 8 of their national championships as members of the conference. They clinched their first Big 12 championship in 1996 and capped their Big 12 tenure by defeating number 1 Texas 5-1 for their 9th Big 12 tournament championship. The team didn't lose a 3-game conference series in the Big 12 until the recent season, culminating in an unprecedented 4 consecutive national championships, including their 8th overall by sweeping Texas. The success of the softball program led by Coach Patty Gasso has been so prolific that they struggle to find space for their numerous trophies before moving to Love's Field, where they were at their previous field, which was the Marina High Field. So now the Sooners face a new challenge in the SEC, a conference that won 3 of 4 softball national titles from 2012 to 2015, with the other won by OU. Sankey emphasized that the Sooners have set a new standard in the conference. The transition to the SEC was celebrated with a day-long event starting Sunday night and continuing through Monday in Norman. This move, which was carefully managed over the past 3 years to respect the Big 12, marks a significant milestone for Oklahoma. Athletic Director Joe Castiglione noted that the SEC stands for Stability, Engagement, and Champions for Oklahoma, underscoring the move's benefits, including financial stability, increased visibility, and enhanced competition opportunities, which I will get into some more later. So the addition of Oklahoma expands the SEC's footprint into another state, making the conference home to 16 teams across 12 states now. This not only strengthens the SEC's regional presence, but also bolsters its national brand, which Skye believes is significant. He compared Oklahoma's inclusion to historical shifts in college sports, such as Pat Summitt's tenure at Tennessee and Skip Berman's at LSU. Furthermore, the SEC commissioner highlighted the value of Oklahoma's passionate fan base, which aligns with the conference motto, "It just means more." The inclusion of Oklahoma promises a mutually beneficial partnership, enhancing the SEC during a transformative period in college athletics. The significance of Oklahoma's transition from the Big 12 to the SEC, particularly for its softball program, lies in several key areas. Enhanced competition is a major factor, as the SEC is widely regarded as one of the most competitive conferences in college sports, particularly in softball. By joining the SEC, Oklahoma will face more rigorous competition, which can elevate the program's performance and prestige. Oklahoma's softball team has already established itself as a powerhouse in the Big 12 with multiple national championships. Competing in the SEC, a conference with a strong history of winning national titles, can further solidify Oklahoma's status as a premier program. Increased visibility and financial benefits are also significant. The SEC has a significant media presence and larger audience reach, which can provide Oklahoma with increased visibility on a national scale. This can enhance recruiting efforts and attract top talent to the program. Also, by joining the SEC comes with financial benefits due to the conference's lucrative television contracts and sponsorship deals. This financial boost can improve facilities, resources, and overall program development. The move is also strategic in terms of regional and national footprint. Oklahoma's inclusion in the SEC expands the conference's geographic influence, adding another state to its reach. This strategic expansion can enhance the SEC's brands as a national powerhouse in college sports. The move is mutually beneficial for both Oklahoma and the SEC conference. While Oklahoma gains from the prestige and competition level of the SEC, the conference benefits from adding a successful program with a passionate fan base. The historical significance of this move cannot be understated. Oklahoma's softball program has a rich history, including numerous national championships and a strong legacy in the Big 12. Moving to the SEC allows the program to build on this legacy in a new and challenging environment. As SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey mentioned, Oklahoma sets a new standard in the conference, bringing a tradition of excellence that can inspire and elevate the overall competitive level within the SEC. In summary here, Oklahoma's move to the SEC is significant for its potential to elevate the program through enhanced competition, increased visibility, and financial benefits, while also building on Oklahoma's legacy and tradition of excellence in softball. So we're now going to move into our last segment of today's show, where we talk about some MMA updates. Before we get into that, we're going to be taking a very short break, so I will see you guys very soon. Welcome back, everybody, to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. My name is Samantha Genzer. I'm your guys' show host. We just got done talking about NiJaree Canady and the transfer portal and the Oklahoma Sooners transition from the Big 12 to the SEC. We're now going to talk about women's MMA in our last segment of the day. So we have three things to talk about. We're going to talk about 1, Gillian Robertson's potential in the strawweight division, 2, Michelle Waterson-Gomez's retirement, 3, Macy Chiasson's belief she's nearing a title shot. So let's first talk about Gillian Robertson. Okay, so after her dominant decision win over Michelle Waterson-Gomez on the UFC 303 preliminary card at T-Mobile Air Arena, Robertson said the biggest bummer about what her name value could be, her biggest win yet, was that she had to get the inside of her lip stitched. During the post-fight news conference, Robertson said, quote, "Physically, I'm feeling great. I actually got 4 or 5 stitches in my lip. Literally the first thing I said after the fight, I was like, I can't smoke weed tonight. So that was my biggest worry," unquote. Even if she has to deal with the edibles for a few days, perhaps it'll be worth it giving her UFC career is flowering of late. Robertson has won 4 of her past 5 fights, including 3 by stoppage, and 2 of those were for $50,000 bonuses. She'll also be forever linked in this stretch as the woman who sent Waterson-Gomez into retirement, something she said she had a hunch might be coming, and we'll get into that next. So then Robertson also said, quote, "I consider it as a possibility just knowing her age, where she's at in the sport. I assumed that I was probably going to be her retirement fight. It's such a weird sport. We elbow each other in the face 100 times. Then I want to go give her a hug because I see her crying. I respect her so much in her career and all she's done for the sport. She's a vet and she's really made a name for herself with all women in the sport," unquote. Robertson seems to be peaking at just the right time in the women's strawweight division. She said she wants another fight before the year's out, likely in December, and then she figures she might have some big things in store in 2025. She said, quote, "I'm ranked 15, Michelle was 14, so 113. I'm saying yes to anybody who calls. Every single fight you're going to see me improve as a fighter. I'm evolving every single day, and I think you guys see it every single fight that I'm just really becoming a well-rounded mixed martial artist and becoming a champion," unquote. Looking ahead, Gillian Robertson is primed for an exciting future in the UFC's women's strawweight division. With her recent performances, she's proven to be a force to be reckoned with. Robertson's willingness to fight literally anyone in the top 13 shows her ambition and confidence, and I feel like confidence of which drives most of these MMA fighters a lot. She's not just looking for any fight, she's aiming to climb the rankings quickly and make her name known for herself among the division's elite. What's particularly impressive about Robertson is her continuous improvement. She's been evolving with every fight, becoming more well-rounded and versatile. This kind of progression is crucial in the UFC, where the competition is fierce and fighters need to adapt constantly to stay on top. Her victories by stoppage highlight her finishing ability, which is a significant asset. Fans love fighters who can end bouts decisively, and Robertson is delivering on that front. Robertson's goal to fight again before the year ends, likely in December, indicates her eagerness to stay active and maintain her momentum. Active fighters tend to improve more quickly because they're constantly in fight camps, honing their skills and staying sharp. This approach could see her rapidly ascending the rankings in 2025. In terms of opinions about Robertson, she's earning respect not just for her skills in the octagon, but also for her attitude outside of it, and I do really much admire that about her. Her respectful comments about Waterson-Gomez and her understanding of the emotional aspects of the sport show a depth of character that resonates well with fans. It's this combination of skill, respect, and determination that makes Robertson a compelling fighter to watch. If she continues on this trajectory, it's not far-fetched to see her challenging for the title in the near future. She's got the talent, the mindset, and the drive to become a champion, and her journey is one that many fans will be excited to follow. Now let's move into our second thing, Michelle Waterson-Gomez's retirement. She is one of the most influential figures in women's MMA, and she decided to retire at UFC 303 on Saturday in Las Vegas at 38 years old. She announced her retirement following a unanimous decision loss to Gillian Robertson on, like I said. Waterson-Gomez came to prominence more than a decade ago at a time when women's MMA was still finding its footing. She won a 105-pound atomweight championship in 2013 and went on to a successful career in the UFC at 115 pounds. Known as Karate Hottie, Waterson moved to the UFC in 2015, where she competed as an undersized strawweight. She fought nearly all of the best in her era, including Rose Namajunas, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, and Carla Esparza. She appeared at ESPN's Body Issue in 2017 and often spoke of her dream to become a UFC champion for her daughter, who was born shortly into her professional MMA career. Going into Saturday's contest, Waterson-Gomez was the number 13 ranked strawweight in the UFC. In regards to retirement, Waterson-Gomez said, quote, "I wouldn't be the person I am today without the UFC and all you fans continuing to push me. Fighting runs through my veins and it's made me who I am. When you fight, you chase greatness. I've been contemplating this and talked to my husband. What am I What am I if I'm not fighting? He told me just because I'm not fighting the octagon doesn't mean I stop fighting in life, and that helped me move on, unquote. Her retirement symbolizes the challenges and triumphs of competing at the highest level. Despite often being undersized in the strawweight division, Waterson-Gomez's skill, determination, and resilience allowed her to achieve remarkable success. Her battles in the octagon have been a testament to her tenacity and have inspired many fighters, fans, and inspiring fighters. I'm sad because Michelle Waterson-Gomez has been such an integral part of women's MMA, and her presence will be missed. Her journey has been an inspiration, showing us all what is possible with determination and passion. Seeing her retire feels like an end of an era, and while I'm excited to see what she does next, her impact in the octagon will be irreplaceable. From a competitive standpoint, Waterson-Gomez's retirement also impacts the dynamics of the women's strawweight division. She was consistently ranked and often fought against top contenders, contributing to the competitive depth of the division. With her retirement, the division loses a seasoned and skilled fighter, potentially opening opportunities for new fighters to rise in the ranks, but also reducing the overall experience and competitiveness at the top. Moreover, Waterson-Gomez's influence on the sport extended to her advocacy for fighters' well-being and her articulate presence in media interactions. Her thoughtful perspectives on the challenges of being a professional fighter, including the balance of personal and professional life, had added a valuable voice to the MMA community. I'm sure that's not going to go away, but her absence might be felt in the discourse around fighting welfare and the broader discussion about the sport's evolution. Now, let's get into our third thing. Macy Chiasson's belief she's nearing a title shot. The Ultimate Fighter 28 winner thinks she's entered title contention following her most recent victory. Chiasson's defeated Bueno Silva by TKO on the main card of Saturday's UFC 303. Now on a 2-fight winning streak, the 32-year-old fighter thinks it's just a matter of winning 1 or 2 more bouts before the UFC comes calling with a championship fight. Chiasson told reporters, quote, "I hope so, and I feel like I am 1 or 2 wins away from a title shot. I feel like I put in the work, and I'm exactly right where I'm supposed to be. Mick Maynard and Dana White have taken great care of me, so whatever they want next from me, I want it," unquote. There have been rumblings that Raquel Pennington will defend her women's bantamweight belt later this year against former champion Juliana Pena. Although it's not official, Chiasson is open to serve as a backup for that fight or take on Kayla Harrison, who's also angling to get a crack at the belt. Chiasson actually took almost 2 years away from the sport back in 2022, and she believes that time off has helped her elevate her game. She's excited to see what the latest version of her will bring to the table. She said, quote, "I needed time off to eat more calories. Making 135 was horrific. I was running 40 miles a week on top of doing camps, and I was just deteriorating. My mental health started slipping, and I wasn't sure if I was going to come back to fighting. There was a moment I thought I was done. That was kind of rock bottom for me, and I think moving through that and working through all the kinks, it's really what has gotten me to where I'm at now," unquote. Chiasson's willingness to jump in as a backup for the potential title fight or take on top contenders like Kayla Harrison shows she's ready to seize any opportunity that comes her way. She's clearly got her eye on the prize and isn't afraid to step up when needed. This kind of attitude is exactly what you want to see in someone aiming for a championship shot. What really stands out about Chiasson's journey is her time away from the sport. Taking almost 2 years off back in 2022 wasn't just a physical break, it was a mental reset. She's open about how brutal making weight was, running 40 miles a week on top of everything else. That's intense. The break allowed her to recover, refocus, and come back stronger. She talks about hitting rock bottom and not being sure if she's returned to fighting. That's some real raw honesty right there, and I really much respect that. But working through those tough times has brought her to where she is now, more determined and better than ever. Chiasson's story of resilience and evolution makes her someone to watch. She's faced the hard times head on and comes out stronger, which is very inspiring. Her belief that she's close to the title shot isn't just talk, it's backed by her hard work and the challenges she's overcome. She's shown she's got what it takes, and it's going to be exciting to see where she goes from here. So that concludes our show for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the GSMCpodcast.net. Brought to you by the GSMC. Did I just say, oh my goodness, how? Guys, I'm so sorry. Wow. Thank you guys for tuning into the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, brought to you guys by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. Thank you guys once again, and have a wonderful day.
go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work.